Alright guys, the first thing you do is remove your air cleaner ductwork right here. Now, important things. You got one clamp over here. You can use a flat screwdriver on 8mm. I'm using an 8mm socket, 3/8 drive, deep. So you want to loosen up this clamp. You always want to loosen it up nice and loose. Then you want to follow it around. Stop right here to the air temperature sensor. We need to disconnect that. To disconnect that, there is a little tab right there. You want to squeeze that tab into the connector and then back it up. So squeeze it in and back it up. Lean that over to the side. Then you got another clamp right here that's got to be loosened up, and that one's going to the throttle body. So you want to loosen up that one. Let's get these clamps nice and loose, and then we'll be right back. Alright, both clamps are loose. Now, this thing is still going to be held on by 2 grommets on to the cleaner, and then underneath they're going to be posts, just like this, with those grommets snap onto. Because you pick it up, you see it's still kind of tight. So what you want to do is take over here, and you're going to pick it up, and you're going to feel it go pop loose. And you know what? Let me get that off. So we got this up like this. Let's go over here. You want to pull this one out, and then this one over here, that's all you want to do is just grab it, and it pulls right from the throttle body. Now I'm going to turn this over. These are the grommets I was talking about. You got one right here, and that one hooks on to that post, and then this one, well, this one, the post is on the cleaner, then it pushes down into this grommet right here. Alright, so let's set this to the side, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, on the next step, we're going to move this valve out of the way. Now, because there's bolts going around here. 2 ways you can just move this out of the way. One, first of all, you got to unplug it. Right? So you got the little connector right, the little tab right there. Push that tab into the connector. Let me put this thing down. And this part is going to back up. So push that in and back up. Put that to the side. Now, you can either disconnect it from 2 10mm bolts, nuts underneath, and swing it out of the way. But what we're going to do is disconnect it right here from the bracket, so we can just swing the whole thing out of the way. This should have been in here. This little Christmas tree clip, they usually be stuck in there just like that. So you're just going to take it out, put it to the side, and you're going to take off these bolts right here. These are 16mm bolts. I got a 16mm deep, 3/8 drive, with my 3/8 drive ratchet. Guys, this is a very good time to mention, if you can go to Harbor Freight or something, these are very cheap. Get you an impact driver, because these things make jobs like this a lot easier. Then you can get these bits right here. It comes in three pieces. It's like $5, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and then 1/2 inch. So then you can just take it off and put them back in and take it off. Now let's see if sometimes those bolts, some bolts are kind of tight, and you can't take them out with that, like that right there. So we're going to be using our ratchet, and then you're going to remove those 2 bolts. When you move it, you can see the bracket starting to loosen up. All right, let's get those 2 bolts out, and we'll be right back. Alright, we got that out. Both bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about getting them confused. And then we just take this whole assembly and move it up. Look at that. See, now we got the bolts right here to the water pump. And if you want, guys, you can just put these bolts right back in there by a couple threads, so you don't lose them. Alright, let's put this in there, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing to do is to drain the antifreeze. Now this is one sucky system for draining antifreeze. Now your drain plug for the radiator is way down there. You see a red little valve right there. Alright, now the problem is, they should have put a hose on that, and they should have put a hose on it, and then a hole through that splash shield at the bottom. Because right now, taking that off, the antifreeze is, I have no idea which way it's going to go to drain out. It looks like it might just continue on over there, and drain off, but I'm not sure. So you can get down there, take a 10mm and take that shield off, or if you just don't care, get a pan. Oh, we don't need this no more. Get a pan and catch the best way you can. Or what I'm going to do is this right here. I got me my antifreeze container, and just for jobs like this, I got a garbage can lid where I put a bunch of holes in it. So now I can put it just like this and slide it up under the car. Make sure it stays in the pan. And I am pretty much, I'm going to catch everything down there. I just got to make sure that I'm everywhere. I can see where places where it can drain, and I might have to adjust it a little bit, but it's good, especially when I take off the water pump. It might leak down into this big hole right here, and as you can see, my pan is there already. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're ready to take that loose. I'm just going to have a regular pair of pliers because it's not really tight, and you want to turn that counterclockwise. Reach down here. Turn it counterclockwise. Loosen it up. Now notice how it's coming out really slow. What you can do to do that is go over here, take off your radiator cap, and let's go down here and watch this at the same time. We'll take off the radiator cap, let air into the system, and there it is. Draining out. Let me get up under there and make sure. Oh yeah, perfect. This just a little bit. All right, guys. We're gonna be letting that drain out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna do to help with the bleeding. And we got to take this out anyway. This little bleed screw right here. Now before you fill your system up, you have to take this out for the engine to bleed. So I got a flat screwdriver. And just take that. And remember, this has to come out when we fill the system up or this car will overheat. So take that out. Put that down to the side. Next thing, you're going to take your 3/8 drive ratchet and set it on like you're loosening. And you're not going to use no socket or nothing. We're going to take our belt off now. Now this is a good time to take your phone and take a picture of how the belt routine is so you don't have to run around looking to see how it goes on. Your tensioner is right here. Now you want to set your ratchet to like you're loosening. And the ratchet head will fit right inside there. You go loosen, like you're loosening. You take it off just like that. So hold it back, take the belt off the alternator, and then slowly release that back. Okay? Take your belt off, inspect your belt, and change it if you have to. Now you might be saying, it's like, Tim, why don't you just leave the belt on it? Because, you know, if I do that, then I take this water pump off, then this antifreeze come out there, it's going to get the belt wet, and it's going to start squealing. So you want to take it off. Alright, let's take it off, put it aside, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is disconnect this cooling hose right here and the lower radiator hose. Now these clamps, I hate these clamps. They're spring type clamps. If you have a pair of vice grips, you can use that. You have a pair of pliers. You can probably, you know, let's trace it. Pair of pliers, you can squeeze it together, or vice grips, and then bring it back, and then release it. Then, what you want to do is take this off. Now, this hose sometimes they could stick up there. So either you can take a small screwdriver, and you gotta be careful with this. You don't want to damage the hose. You can go between the hose and the pipe And you can just go around it and break the seal. Sometimes these things are difficult as anything. Or, which I'm going to do, take your pliers and don't really grab it to damage the hose. You just want to grab it just enough to keep going back and forth to break that seal off of it. And at the same time, pulling it back. Alright, now, for the bottom hose. Now for the bottom hose, it's nice if you got me these pair of nice hose clamp pliers. These things are cool. These things ratchet into place so it keeps it from coming loose. So, and these ends turn right here, so you can go pretty much at any angle. So I gotta go right here and right here, and then I go in there, squeeze it. See, it ratchets it up against it and keeps it held into place. And it looks like I can actually start taking that hose off at the same time. Okay, now when I want to take this off, that's all I have to do is squeeze it together, push this little lever in to release it, and just like that. Perfect. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is remove this idler pulley right here. It's got a 13mm bolt. I got a 13mm socket, deep, 3/8 drive. With my 3/8 drive ratchet, I got my cordless ratchet. And what you want to do is break that loose. And then take that off. It's got a long bolt. Alright, let's take this, put it to the side, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're ready to unbolt the water pump. Yeah buddy. Alright, we got two bolts here that's going to be different than the rest. A 16 and a 13. So grab your same 13 that you just have. You're going to be taking out that one. And turn over to your 16 deep. And you're going to be taking out that one. Now, if you're not sure whether all, because we're really not sure if all these bolts, no, actually this one looks a little longer. I'm going to show you a little trick we're going to do. What we're going to do is get your new water pump, set it up, and as you take out a bolt here, you want to put it in the same spot in the old water pump. So I'm going to take these two out, I'm going to put it into the new water pump, and when we come back, I'm going to show you. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we got our new water pump set up here. Here's our bolts. And I know my water pump sets just like that. So I just took that one, just put it there. Put that one, put it there. And then, what we're going to do, I'm switching over. This is going to be quicker for me, guys. I'm going with my impact, my cordless driver. And I'm using a 10mm deep, 3/8 drive. And I'm going to start off on the corner here. Take out a bolt, put that bolt in relation to the same hole in the water pump. Then I'm gonna just go around, or you can go around this way. But I'm gonna go around this way, under here. Take that one out. Go around. And here are bolts longer than the others. Am I moving too quick? No. Okay, that one. Is there one there? I can't see. There it is. Right.
Keep moving me.
Right there. And it's good. You can use, if you're not sure whether you're getting all the bolts, just look at your new water pump. You can say, okay, my next one is right there. Next one is right there. Just gotta move this whole hose out the way. Okay. Okay, looks like, according to my new water pump, I'm done on that side. Now go to the other side. There's one right there between the harmonic balancer and the water pump. You got that, Siri?
Look at it.
Put this one right here. Okay. Work our way around. And let's get our last one out, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got all our bolts out, and we can verify that by all the bolts.
What's in that hole?
Hold on, this one. Which one?
That hole right there.
Well, let's see if Siri figures it out.
Oh, that's the
What, Siri?
the pulley.
This the pulley, Siri?
The little idler pulley or whatever it was. Right?
Yep. Alright, now guys, we're gonna take our water pump off now. Sometimes you can just do this. Or take a hammer. Man, sucks. There's a little piece right in here where you can probably take a screwdriver or something and pry it back. Don't do that, because this is plastic. So you just keep on working that thing loose. Well, you start wondering, like, dang it, did I get all the bolts? This thing is held on by some. You know what? Let me get my screwdriver.
You just said not to do that.
I'm gonna go over this way. Yeah, when that gasket is holding us. Here we go. All right. It was up against this gasket, so let's take this gasket off of here. Man, there you go, guys. Got the water pump out. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our water pumps here lined up, and we just noticed something. There's some sleeves we have to take out of this pump to put over there. For instance, right in that hole right there, what we're going to do is take a flat screwdriver and go from the opposite side and push it up. What the heck? There we go. Alright, a little sleeve right there. So we know it goes in that one. So we're going to do is come over here to this one. And we're going to put it onto the bolt. Put it up like that. Alright, then what we're going to do is go around and see if there's any more. None. And we got two more right here that we're going to change over. And some of them, okay, I feel like this one up here, when we took the bolt out, they had it up there already. So we're good. So let's get those two changed over, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got all that changed over. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to start transferring our bolts over from here to there so we can keep them aligned. And once we do that...
Stop playing.
Huh?
Stop playing.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Stop playing.
What?
You putting them back on the old one.
Yeah, I am.
For what?
See? So when we put this pump up there, the bolts will be out somewhere, so we still keep our alignment.
Oh, alright.
See? So we thought I was playing around. See, we thought I was playing around.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, see? I'm the I'm a genius at this mess. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, where we at here?
No, I know you know what you're doing, but you like to mess with people. You skip one.
Okay, and got these two over here. Now we can take this pump and set it up there. So now we know exactly where our bolts go at. Now what you want to do, guys, is we got to clean up the area around here.
I can't.
Here.
Yeah.
Here. Now we got to clean up the area around here. Now the gasket on this was just like a rubber seal, so there's nothing to really scrape. So you can actually take a rag, there's a carburetor cleaner if you want, and clean it up, or take your little wire brush, and then this is one. You bought me this.
And I bought you some better ones.
And clean that up. Just want to make sure there's no dirt around there, or this thing will leak. Like right there, that's gotta. That's in there. Huh. So let's get this cleaned up, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got it done. Now let's get our new gasket. No sealer or nothing is required. Let's line our gasket up. Why can't they make all gaskets like this? That'd be so perfect. All right, so we're going to turn it over. We're going to bring it down and get that fit in there. Let's see, we line it right there. Let's get us a bolt. Let's get the 16mm bolt. And just go right there. And that's what we want to do is just start that off by a couple threads. Just like that. Then I'm going to get the 13mm bolt and make sure that gasket is lined up in there. And there it is, it's lined up. And you definitely want to make sure you turn them by a couple threads so you don't get them cross-threaded. And now, we just take our pump, take out a bolt, and just go around and put it exactly where it belongs. Alright, so let's get them all in, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got 3 more bolts to do. The ones down at the bottom. And those might be a little bit difficult to reach your finger in there, so I'm going to show you a little trick. Take my socket, took it out of the nut driver. Got a, why is your dog barking?
Emmett.
Piece of plastic, and let's just start off with this one right here. And what you do is just take it and just slightly put it in place so it don't come out, and you use that so you can go ahead and get that bolt started. And so also sometimes you might have to just wiggle the pump just a little bit just to make sure that's started. Glove stuck in that one. That one way down in between there. Alright, so let's get this one started. If the plastic stays in there like that, it's good. It ain't going inside the water pump or nothing. I mean, if you want to be, if you have OCD, that's it, OCD? Then you go ahead and get the plastic out there. Alright, let's get the last one in there and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now I got me a 10mm deep 3/8 drive with my 6-inch 3/8 drive extension. You can use this in the beginning anyway. So we're going to start from this bolt down here and we're going to go around and we're going to bring all the bolts in just till they snug. Because we want to make sure this water pump goes down flush. I mean, it's going to go down flush anyway, but you just want to make sure and just go around and bring them all in before we start tightening them. Alright, and then you got your 16 and 13 here, and if you want guys, just in case, the bolt right here that goes to that alright, how you doing? What you do is just put that there so we can make sure that is lined up. Actually, we can leave it there because it's not in the way of any bolt or anything. Alright, so let's go around, get them all started, snugged up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're going to start tightening them up. Start off on any bolt you want. Just make sure you keep following around so that way you don't miss any. So I'm going to start off with this one right here. And what you're going to do is, we're doing the 10 millimeter ones. Go till it stops, till that ratchet stops, and then just a little bit more to snug it up. That's it. Let's do one more together. Go up here, this one. Go till it stops, and a little bit more. If you're not familiar with this, if you're not too comfortable with this, look up the torque specs for it. All right. So we're gonna go around. We're not gonna do those yet. And one more. Stop, and a little bit more. All right. Let's get the rest of them done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. The 10 millimeters are done. Now we're gonna do the two 13 millimeters. I'll start by this one. Maybe I should have brought that one in. Stops, and a little bit more. Make sure it spins. And then we're going to go to the other 13 over here. And then switch up to our last one, the 16 millimeter. Alright, let's get that tightened up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's put our belt on. Let's put our belt on. We're going to start, let's get this around the holes like this. The back side is going to go up here. Start around the water pump. Fold it down over the water pump. Go between there. And over here, go around air pump. What's that? Power steering pump. So go around the AC compressor. Still on. Go over here to the idler. Then we're not going to put on the the alternator. Then we're going to come up under the harmonic balancer, through here, and around just like that. All right. Make sure all our grooves are lined up. Take your ratchet. Remember, you're going like your. Make sure this is in there. Yeah. Like you're loosening up. Bring it back. Put it onto the alternator. And then release. And then you go around and make sure all the grooves are lined up. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, before we put the hoses on, so we don't forget, we pour antifreeze and antifreeze coming right out. Let's go down there and close off that drain plug. Now, that thing is plastic. When you loosened it up with your pliers, it didn't come, it wasn't like tight at all. So you want to make sure when you tighten it up, it's the same way. First of all, let's go down here and, oops, going the wrong way. Put it in by hand. Get my pliers. And I mean guys, I'm barely putting pressure on this just to snug that up, because you will break that right off. Alright, that's done. We'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we do, put our hoses on. I'm going to start with the lower one, the big one. And what I'm going to do is take my tool, squeeze the clamp. Dang it. Why do you make these stupid clamps? Okay, squeeze that together. Go ahead. Put the hose up there. Get this out of the way. Bring my clamp up. And then release it. Same thing with the little one. Put it up there. That was on the opposite side. Bring it up and release it. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we gotta do is put this bracket back over here with the bolt on it. But while it's doing that, got my little, you want to get you one of these little overfill buckets. These things are cool instead of sitting here trying to pour antifreeze in here and wait. It's going to have adapters to it and all. Just hook up to there. Turn it. Put this into here. And I'm going to fill it up with coolant right around here. And I'm going to just keep on watching it. And this is a self-bleeding system. So you're going to keep on putting antifreeze in until we see antifreeze come out of here. Good thing I saw that. You see a little O-ring in there, guys? I'm not going to take it out, but sometimes it might come off with the bolt, and sometimes it might not. Sometimes it might come out and get lost. So make sure you see that O-ring right there. Alright, so let's get our coolant. We're going to start filling this up, and then we'll be back to put that on. Alright guys, while it's bleeding out, let's get our valve. Put it back over here. Two 16mm bolts. Okay. Start them off. Always guys, start them off by a couple threads so you make sure they're not cross-threaded. And before we forget, let's go over here and plug this up. What the heck, man? I'm having a hard time plugging up with some plug. I can rebuild an engine and having problems plugging this up. Alright, then I'm going to take my 16mm, take my cordless nut driver, and go ahead and just tighten those up. Alright, let's get this tightened up, and then we're going to continue on bleeding out the system. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, I just saw it come out a little bit, so let's pour a little more antifreeze in there. Yeah, that's what you want. Once you see it filled up like that, take that little screw, little plug, and son of a biscuit. Oh, here it is.
But it's not coming out no more.
Well, it's good. It's good. Because once I put it up a little bit, it'll come back out. And then you just refill the system up here. See, so watch, Civvy. Watch this, Civvy.
Okay.
See, I put a little bit in there. See,
all
that's
right.
all I did, just a little bit. Go ahead, put that in there. And as you can see, guys, this thing is plastic. So you go ahead and try to turn that and break it. You're going to be in a world of trouble. So just go ahead and get out a nice screwdriver. Go ahead.
How do you know the screwdriver is nice?
Because
Maybe
no,
it's mean.
actually, no, this is a cheesy, ragged. Oh, so you're funny. Try to
You said.
close that up just till it stops and a little bit more. That's it. Now you fill the rest of it up and you'll be done bleeding it. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got everything bled out. Everything came out great. The last thing we're going to do, let's take our air cleaner box. And remember our two grommets at the bottom that they're going to hook onto those posts and push down. So what we're going to do is hook it up to the throttle body first. Push that on. Make sure it's on all the way. Then you're going to come around here. Get this side on. Pull that on. You got a little alignment right there too. Okay, make sure that's on. And then you make sure your grommets are into place. And you just pop down just like that. Alright? Connect your air temperature sensor. And tighten up the two clamps. Alright, let's tighten them up. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's get ready to start it up. And now guys, I did forget to mention something in the beginning of the video. Your car is probably going to have a cover up here. And you're going to have these posts right here. And you're just going to have to pull it up. This one is missing. So I have no idea where it's at. So let's start it up. Alright, everything is looking good. See that little so you want to make sure everything looks good, guys. Everything is. Make sure there's no leaks. And we'll be right back.